Getting a new lens is just fun. Every single time. It just gives you that extra burst of motivation to go pop it on your camera and find something to shoot. Glorious. This is a Sigma Art Series 14 to 24 2.8. It's been out for a while now, over a year, and this has been in and out of my Adorama shopping cart for probably about 3 or 4 months. Up until about a week ago where I found that one credit card that wasn't completely maxed out and click, click, click. You're welcome for my order. And thank you for taking my money, Adorama. I appreciate it. Now, we took a trip this past weekend back home to see my wife's family and our friends Colleen and Dom, and I figured that this was the perfect opportunity to field test, real world test this lens. So everything you're about to watch right now was shot on this guy right here. All right, enjoy.
For your safety, please keep those seatbelts fastened. I hear a bunch of clicking.
Back in CT.
Patiently wait, we're
Skinny Pop.
Say hi.
Hey.
How'd it look? Not bad, right? I thought so too. Now, let's talk about the pros and cons. The first pro, and probably the biggest one, is that the Sigma Art comes in at almost $1,000 less than the Sony G-Master 16 to 35. The Art on Adorama comes in at $1,299. The G-Master 16 to 35 comes in at $2,198. Is this lens almost $1,000 better? Second pro being excellent autofocus. The boxes were sticky, it jumped on the eyes, it jumped on faces. I had absolutely no problems grabbing focus at any point. The sharpness of the lens was just as good as the autofocus. Side by side, when looking at G-Master 16-35 footage and looking at the Art footage, to my untrained eye, I can't really see a difference. I know there's other channels that do way more in-depth technical things. Hey, real quick, did you see that focus breathing? I think the Art was better. The G-Master definitely was compensating and breathing a little bit more than the Art was, so I'm not sure if you guys noticed that or not. Okay, back to it. I didn't see a big difference. especially not a $900 difference. If you disagree, let me know in the comments. Number 3, I like that there is an internal zoom on this lens. What that means is that when you adjust your zoom, everything is happening inside the lens. Now, why is that a pro? When you're using this lens on a gimbal, you don't have to rebalance your gimbal between shots when you're trying to change your focal length. Pro number, it should be 5, but I didn't actually count the first one. I just realized that, and that's fine, whatever. Being that it's a 14 mil, when you're shooting on an A7S III or any camera that has an active stability built in, it's gonna give you just a little bit more real estate when you have that crop in factor for the stability. And now let's talk about just a couple cons. They're not that big of a deal, but I'll address them anyways. The first thing, this time I'll count it, is gonna be the weight of this lens. This guy comes in at 795 grams, where the G-Master comes in at 680 grams. Do you really feel that difference? Just maybe slightly. The G-Master and A7S III is already a pretty heavy setup comparatively speaking, compared to like an A7 IV, which is noticeably lighter, or anything more compact like an A7C. I didn't really feel it as much, so I was kind of surprised when I looked up the weight differences in these. It's just ever so slightly taller. Let's see something here, let's take. Yeah, just slightly. When you zoom to 16, so the G-Master at 16 is definitely taller than the Art at 14. The last thing, there's only really two. Well, kind of technically 3. Actually, no, one more. I'm gonna say this. I do wish that there was a lockable focal length switch. Sigma's Art 28-70 has a lock switch, which you can just lock that focal length right in there. When you're filming yourself, if you don't have something to grab onto, any kind of tripod or whatever, when you're going to grab that lens, sometimes every now and then you can kind of like turn that focus just a little bit and it's gonna kick it out a little. It would be convenient to have a lock there to stop that from happening. Another thing and last thing, you cannot have ND filters on the front of this lens. There are no filter threads because of the way that this lens convexes. Is that right? Concave, convex. Pretty sure that's right. I'll say it right there. But you can put them on the back where the mount is. I saw a company on Amazon. They're called Haida, H-A-I-D-A, and they make a filter set. This kit was $100 for 4 different filters. And how those filters go on, there is a little system that Sigma built in there where the filter drops in here, and there's a lever there to lock it in place so it doesn't fall out when you remove it. This is a bit of a pain in the butt when you're going from an indoor setting to an outdoor setting. No one likes to take the lens off the camera when you're outside, especially if it's windy or sandy or elements get inside your sensor. That's a big no-no. You don't want that to happen, not fun at all. It's definitely annoying, but not a deal breaker by any means. Are those issues worth paying another $900? Let me know in the comments what you think. Overall, I had a really great experience with it. Sharpness, autofocus, everything was spot on. So I feel like it's a pretty solid investment, especially if you don't already have a wide zoom lens in your bag right now. I would highly recommend going out and grabbing the Sigma Art 14-24 right now. And I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe that there was a $200 rebate a few months back. I thought I saw an email and I should have got it back then, but what are you gonna do? You live and you learn. You definitely live. You don't always learn. You definitely don't always learn. That's all I got for you. Let me know in the comments below if you own this lens already, if you are thinking about picking it up. Maybe watching this video helped you make that decision. I hope it helped someone. That's what I want to do, is help people watching videos. All right, if it's your first time here, make sure to subscribe, give this video a like to help the algorithm and the YouTube gods see what I'm doing over here. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss another video, and we'll see you next time. Woo.